Northern Michigan living here, making another video. This is by request from a viewer who asked me to go ahead and make videos about all the maintenance that I do on my vehicle, so I figured, yeah, why not? Give it a go. So today I'm changing differential fluid. This is a very simple job. This video is more going to be for a time filler, I suppose, or if you've never done the job, then you can review this and then give it a shot yourself. I already took these loose. These are 1/2-inch bolts. They just unbolt and then you can let some of the fluid drip. I took the drain plug out. That way I know I can get it off before I take this apart. So this is pretty much it. You pop these loose, take the drain plug out. I got it right here. You can see it's got a little bit of fuzzy on it, but that is definitely alright. So we're good there. And that's just a 3/8 fitting. That's all it takes to get that off. It's got a square head on it. You can see it there, so it just comes right out. And these are just 1/2 inch. Take them all out. However, leave the top 2 in up here. Take the rest of these out. Take these bottom ones out first. Let it drain a little bit. Take the rest of these on the sides and all the way up, and leave the top 2 in until the last moment. Just because if you pop these out, the whole thing's going to flop and you're going to have diff fluid all over the place. So let me get that going and I'll catch back up to you. Bolts out. I elected to keep this one loose and this one loose, and then I left these 2 in there to hold it up so the thing doesn't come crashing down on me. And it's not really leaking, so what we got to do is get in here and try and coax it out with a putty knife or something of that nature so you don't warp the diff cover. And this is hard one-handed, so bear with me. There we go. Now we're getting some leakage. There, now we're starting to dribble. This is a messy job, so I'll give you that heads up. There we go. There we go. Alright, now it's come loose. If you have a gasket, it won't be quite as challenging, but mine is a mated surface, or a machine surface rather, that I use silicone on, and it looks like I may have got a little moisture in there. I'm gonna have to check out my breather. Let this pour on out. There we go. Now the whole thing's coming loose, which is a good thing. Take these 2 out. Now the trick is, not the trick really, but the thing you got to keep in mind is these are metal to metal mating surfaces, and the silicone takes up whatever little gaps and fills them and so on. So what you got to do is be sure that you clean the area very, very well, and you'll get a good seal. And we'll talk more about that in just a moment. Let me get this thing off and wipe it out a little bit, and then I'll catch you back up. And you can see this is your mating surface, and you can see where it was sealing and where I may have got some moisture in there. That's very interesting. But nonetheless, good clean surface. I'm going to take a wire brush to it, get all that straightened out. The internals look really good, which is always a nice thing to see. And yeah, that fluid is just a little discolored, isn't it? I'm gonna have to take a look at my breather. Okay, so here's the inside of the diff, and this is your cover, and you can see, you know, all the film and whatnot. So I'll spray that off. Also, you're gonna have to wire brush this, so you got that good metal to metal contact. When you put your silicone on there, it smashes in there nice. But what I'm gonna do before all that is clean this off, and then get me a nice bead of gasket maker, RTV, whatever, around this thing. That way I can let it harden just a bit, just a tacky. That way when I put this thing together, it's going to seal up a lot better than just wet silicone all over the place making a mess. So let me get that all squared away. Oh, one other thing, This does not have a drain plug. If you got one of the off-roader style or a hardened one or cast or whatever, it may have a drain plug, and then you can just pop it out and drain it. You ain't got to go through all this. So if you have one of those, bully for you. I do not, so I got to do it old school. But yeah, let me get to the next phase and I'll get you back up. Back here is the final product. I got the differential specific silicone on there, and it's just starting to get tacky, so I can start putting that back together. I got that all cleaned off and ready to go. I even wiped out all the old fluid and whatnot. My driveway's on a bit of a downhill slope, so it does tend to collect. So take some paper towels or those blue shop towels, whichever you like, wipe it all out, make sure it's good and clean. Clean off the hardware, and then put that sucker back together. Just remember to crisscross your bolts. You know, start from the 1 o'clock position, go down the 7 o'clock position, and just keep crossing it as you torque it down. That way you can get a good, nice, tight seal. And then pour in your fluid through the drain plug until it weeps out, and that's it. She's full. With fluid, though, make sure you're getting high-poid gear oil. I like the 7590. It's always done me well. If you tow a lot or whatever, you may want to choose a different fluid. But that's pretty much it. Pretty straightforward stuff. So if you've got any questions, comments, please feel free to leave them. So I'm just wrapping up the diff fluid swap. And there's a couple of things I wanted to point out just to share with you guys. That way you're armed with more information. It's going to take about a gallon of fluid. Once you drain it all out and you start filling it up again, make sure you have a gallon's worth of fluid. Otherwise you're going to find yourself bumming a ride to the parts store. And the other thing is the Sterling 10 1/4 rear differential, which the 1-tons, I believe the 250s had it, and I think it was option on others, but it doesn't have a limited slip function within it, but it does require you to use a limited slip additive. I think they're just worried about wear or something, I'm not sure, but that's what my manual says. So I got it all buttoned up and ready to go. So again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, by all means hit me up. I'll be sure and happy to answer them or make a video about it or whatever the situation. And until then, we'll catch you on the next video. Have a good one.